Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the show. Glad to have you guys here on this Wednesday, the 3rd of, uh, of June 2020. Okay, let's get started today, and let's open up the charts right here, and let's take a look at what's going on. American streets are the calmest in days. Protests are largely peaceful right now. I'm going to tell you what, very, very, very close to calling in the military. And when the military, when you get a military on one side and you get the people on the other side, in a country, this is called a civil war. And so we're coming very, very close here to a situation that could unravel into a much bigger situation. But on the other hand, on the other side of this coin, it could start to settle back down now again, too. So right now we're kind of at a crossroads in this situation where we're going to have to wait and see which way it goes. But for now, American streets are the calmest in days. Protests are largely peaceful. Now, we're going to take a look over in China right now and see what's going on. China invoked this new bill against Hong Kong. And quite seriously, if I was a person living in Hong Kong right now, I'd be packing my bags, quite seriously, if it was me, But China is furious after United Kingdom considers offering citizens of Hong Kong, 3 million of them, they're offering them citizenship to 3 million people in Hong Kong. What's the population of the United Kingdom? I can't think of it offhand. But this could be... Now, you got to consider, Hong Kong real estate is the most expensive real estate in the world, by far. And the reason why it's expensive is the city is swelled to a certain population, and that real estate basically means housing for the people, housing for all the people in the city, That's what the real estate is. Real estate is mostly what it makes up is residences. That's mostly what it is. Okay, there is commercial real estate too, but for a large part of real estate is where people live. It's their home. And you get 3 million people moving out of the city, what's it going to do? You're going to have vacancies everywhere, houses that are empty. And what happens next when you got an overinflated real estate market? A city that's in constant turmoil, which makes people want to move out anyway, and you get 3 million people, the possibility of up to 3 million people moving out of the city, what's that going to do to the Hong Kong real estate market? I'm not even touching on what's happening in Hong Kong as regards the amount of trade that's going to be cut off now. This is the trade center for China. This is the center where an awful lot of companies do business with China from the West, And so make no mistakes about it. This trade thing that's went on, this trade war with China, is now moved to another level. And China's extremely upset, and that whole region is a hotbed now. It's a hotbed for like the South China Sea, Taiwan, the strait between Taiwan and China. This is all a hotbed now. What we're talking is this is the most intense place we have to observe and watch to see if a hot war were to break out. This is probably where just one little thing could set it off now at this point, because it's a hotbed. It's become a hotbed, and China is very upset. They're losing an awful lot of their trade, and Hong Kong is going to... Real estate market is just going to fall. I can see it falling very soon. Let's take a look now at the silver price today and see what's going on there. These guys, they've been smashing the price of silver, and they're doing it. They did it yesterday, and they're doing it again today. 1768. Look at this smash. It went all the way down below 1740. It went down to like 1737 or something like that, And now it's meandering its way back up again, but it's still down quite considerably below $18 at $17.66, down 44 cents right now at this point in time. You know what? They better be careful. They are playing with fire. These guys as the SLV and the Comex, and they're playing with fire, quite seriously. Silver is the Achilles heel of the whole world's financial system. It's the real physical silver is such a tiny, tight, little, tiny, small market. And when we're talking big money, we're talking trillions of dollars. 100 billion is nothing when you're talking trillions of dollars, Uh, there's thousands of billions. That's what a trillion is. It's 1,000 billion, you know? And so when we're talking about silver, we're talking in millions. We're not talking about in billions even. We're not even talking about in trillions. We're talking about millions of dollars is all. And when each time you move down 1,000 times smaller. So with the silver market, we're only talking millions of dollars here. Not even in the billions. You know how many ounces of silver $1 billion would buy? The market couldn't support it because this market is too tiny. But what happens if you trigger the silver market? If you have a silver shortage or whatever, and silver shoots up to the moon, what happens is gold follows. And the gold market is a rather big market. I think it's like $8 trillion, And, suddenly if you get gold and silver shoot up too high in price, well, that reflects on the dollar, and it reflects on all, and then that in turn reflects on all the other fiat currencies. So it's almost like dominoes falling. Silver is a tiny little domino, but it's positioned like a cornerstone that supports the world's financial system. It even underpins gold, because when silver goes up drastically in price, so does gold follows. Because silver and gold travel together. If you just look at the chart here, look at this silver chart. Now I'm going to flash over to the gold chart and look. You can see the similarities between the two. They move together. Gold's at $16.99 today, and it's down $26.80. Now we're going to take a look at cryptocurrencies. And what we're seeing is the crypto's been creeping up. It's tried to break through 10,000. It did. It broke through 10,000 the other day, and now it's creeping back up toward 10,000 again. Each time it smashes through that psychological barrier of $10,000, people put a lot of orders and stuff in, right at the $10,000 mark. So that's almost like a trigger there, and it could become a support level very soon, the $10,000 mark. Right now, the support level is at $6,500. There's tremendous support there at 6,500. That's the big heavy support right now. But I'm thinking that bar is going to be moved up to $10,000 in the not too distant future. So it's going to go up from 6,500, the support, the line of heavy support, and it's going to be re-emphasized at $10,000 once Bitcoin starts to get some wind behind its sails. And a lot of that depends upon the Fed and how much money they're going to pump into the system. But the Fed is now committed to pumping money into the system. If the stock market starts to roll over, you'll see them pump more money in. Dow Jones Industrial Average today, 407 points up. Now, see, they're not pumping any money in. They're sitting on their laurels right now, the Fed is, because the stock market's doing rather well, 26,149. It's up 407 points on the day so far. Let's take a look now at crude oil. 36.42 today for sweet light crude. It's down 39 cents. This glut in crude oil is continuing. The world is just not consuming oil like it was. They were consuming like 100 million barrels a day, and now it's dropped off considerably. I think it's dropped like 30% or something. So it must be somewhere around 70 million a day, barrels. but they're not consuming like they were. They're only consuming at about 2/3 or 3/4 capacity of what they were consuming, and that gives you a general sense of what the coronavirus did to the economy worldwide. It basically knocked 25-30% off the entire global economy. It slowed the entire world down by about 25 or 30%. And of course, this is reflected in these job losses worldwide. This isn't just in the United States we got these job losses. This is worldwide. You know? And worldwide, the same effort has happened as in the United States. They've supported their workers worldwide with different programs. Each government has their own individual program, but they've been basically, the people that's lost their jobs, they've been supporting them. That support, is only limited to a certain period in time. And what we have is probably 20-25% of all the world's workers now are out of work. When that support starts to be drawn back, what's going to happen then? What's going to happen then? That's what I want to know. Let's take a look now at U.S. Treasuries. And this is perhaps the biggest mover today in all the markets. These are some serious numbers coming in here on Treasuries. And I'm keeping my eye on this very carefully because we're talking almost 8 basis points today that the Treasury yields have risen. 7.3 basis points on the 30-year. It's at 1.55. And the U.S. 10-year's at 0.752. It's up 7.2 basis points. That's a big move for one day. Treasuries. That's sizable. I'm keeping my eye on that very carefully. The world right now is so in debt. The United States is so deep in debt. They cannot tolerate Treasury yields rising too much. This is as simple as that. Let's take a look now at U.S. dollar index. And we see a sloping down dollar index. It's not up at 99 anymore. Now it's 97.23 and dropping. It's dropped almost a half a penny today. It's down 0.45, or that's 0.46% on the day so far. Okay, guys. Things could actually, I'm serious, in the next few months, things could start to normalize somewhat. I'm getting the sense that we've come through an awfully bad storm in the first quarter of this year, and it's continuing into the second quarter. And it's a terribly bad storm that we're coming through, but, when things start to normalize a little bit, things could actually get worse. Because as the economy were to start to pick up a little bit, what could actually happen is so could consumer inflation. And we're not talking about any puny amount of inflation either. We're talking about some serious consumer inflation here. And the good faith in the dollar, has been slowly eroded over a long period of time. And we're facing a dollar crisis coming up at some point in time in the not too distant future. But this could exacerbate it and make it a lot worse and bring it in a lot quicker if the economy actually starts to pick up now at this point. If that makes any sense, you'd think, hey, it's roses and sunshine if the economy's picking up, right? But when we're facing a dollar crisis, maybe not. It might be a precursor to something that is far more sinister. Namely hyperinflation. Listen, thank you guys for listening. Like and subscribe. Give me a thumbs up. And we'll catch you guys in the next show. Bye-bye.